Hi David.
Hi.
Can you tell us a little bit about this John Roberts trophy?
I think the John Roberts Trophy obviously has been around a long time. I remember when we were juniors, we played for it in England for the national championships. I think I won it twice then. Once when I was about 16, and once when I was about 19, and then 2 or 3 years ago, I played Peter Gilchrist in the final of the World Championship, and it was used once for then as well.
So this is the biggest field of former world champions. Who do you think are the main contenders?
Good question. The main contenders obviously is Surav because he's defending champion, Pankaj because everyone knows what Pankaj is capable of, and obviously a superb player. You've got Mike, you've got Peter and myself, and I think they're the main protagonists. Anyone else outside of that field, in my opinion, would have to have an exceptionally good run from the quarterfinals onwards. But I think they're the main big hitters really.
There's a $24,000 prize for a 1,000 break. Do you think anybody will get that?
It's almost $1 million question, isn't it? I think there's a good possibility, but I also think it's going to be very, very difficult. And in my personal opinion, I think it'll only go if it goes in the group stages. It won't go when it gets down to the quarterfinals and the semi-finals, because people's priority once it gets down to that stage is just getting through that game, and no one gets to the quarterfinal and think, oh well, I'll try and make the 1,000 break. If it's going to go early on when people are playing people that probably aren't as competitive with them. So if I was in the quarters or the semis, I just want to win that game. I'm not really interested in the break unless it comes by chance.
Yeah, so you're taking more risks.
Yeah, you do
on.
take more risks.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I said, when it gets to the knockout stage and you're playing people that are a bit better standard of players, you just want to win your game, and yeah, it would be very nice to get the break, but it's just winning the game's a priority.
Yeah. Congratulations on winning the World Open Billiards last Monday. You made a 655 break and a couple of 400s. What did you think of the tables?
I think everyone's in total agree that the tables are playing the best what I think we've ever played on, if not for a very long time. 8 good tables. I don't think there's a difference between any of them. They're all in really, really good condition. I think it's excellent to play in, and it's a privilege to play in, really.
Great. So we've got great standards here in Australia.
Very good, yes. Well done.
Excellent.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, first may I have your phone switched off, please. The last session, a few phones ringing. 202. 204. 206. 208. 210. 212. 214. 270. 220. 223. 225. 228.
Welcome.
230.
Welcome to the semi-final, number 2, World Billiards Championship. And we see Peter Gilchrist, world number 1, at the table in the perfect position for himself.
235.
He's got a very good lead against Causier, David Causier, the man in form. Gee, that was a bit of a nice cannon. Don't know if he played it exactly like that, but yep. Soon Peter Tankard will be joining me as well, major sponsor of the tournament. Peter Gilchrist from Singapore, originally from England. Basically a full-time billiard player, and it shows in his game. Beautiful cueist. And knocks the ball up. He's got the pace of the table. He put it exactly where he wanted. And then he'll push it back behind the spot. There's part of the RACV billiard room. Welcome to the RACV billiard room. It's a great place to play. Just be a member. There's over 30,000 members at the club, but lots of facilities here. There's gyms, bars, restaurants, and it's aligned to the Hillsville Country Club as well. So we've got the golf course. It's my honour to be the resident professional here. And we've got David Walsh here in the commentary. He's such a keen student of the game. He's from Sydney. I only met him once. Hi, David.
Hi, Rob. Good to see you again.
Yeah, I remember having a very good conversation with you about billiards for quite a long time, actually. So, yeah, you asked me if I remember you. I do.
Great memory there. I believe it was the Ian Chapel in Blacktown Workers in Sydney.
Ah, well, you see, I remember you more than the tournament.
Well, I remember all the details. It was similar to this particular occasion. It was a pleasure back then to meet the great Australian legend of English billiards, and equally a similar pleasure to have the opportunity to support you in commentary.
Pleasure's mine, mate. So, yeah, you've been enjoying the billiards?
I have, yeah. It's been a truly incredible experience to play in my first World Championship. It's been a real honour to represent my home nation of Ireland. I was the sole representative at this year's championships. None of the Irish players travelled, but as an Australian resident myself, I grabbed the opportunity to represent Ireland. As Robbie has mentioned, I'm a relative beginner, a keen student, and I ended up doing 25% better than I expected. I won one of my group matches.
Well, that's good. And just to interrupt, he's just played a really nice shot, actually. I think I just learned something there. It's a bit late for me, though. But, yeah, he played the cannon into the jaws of the pocket, but the reverse way. That was a beautiful shot by Peter to try and bring the cue ball back towards the red. Yeah, so, well, 25, that's not a bad record, actually, David. Always got to look on the good side.
I think you finished your group on a 75% record, or was it a 100% record?
You've just got out of the commentary box. I won all my matches in my group.
Oh, well done.
So, sorry to say, see you later, David. But yeah, it was all right till the end. But anyway, yeah.
Well, you topped your group. You comfortably topped your group, and
yeah, but really didn't play as well as I wanted to. But that doesn't matter. But had a very close match in the last 16 against the Myanmar player. It was 91 in front, and he won it with the last break of 100.
That's right. He was,
which was a bit sad. That's why I haven't had much sleep last night. But never mind.
I do remember he was running around the table towards the end to catch your lead, and Yeah, he just about got there in the end.
Well, he did get there in the end.
298.
That's a nice controlled shot. Slight stun. Even though he looks like he's just bashed him, but he stunned it across to try and get on this, keep the red in the corner of the table. So Causier has been the big break maker. He's made the highest break, 469, I think, from memory. No, 463, if I can see properly, which is not easy these days. But now we've got a massive prize of $24,000 for 1,000 break. It's a long way off, but this is, if he can get over this is tricky because of the double kiss. He could play a thin shot and just get a slight double kiss, or he might just screw back off the red. No, he's hit the thin one, but it's all about the position. And, well, now, he has got a cannon on here.
It's a tricky one.
Well, it is a tricky one, off the white, off the yellow, or he can screw in off the yellow. Depends what mood he's in, to be honest.
Would you play 2 cushions?
Yeah, we always try and play that inside cushion first. But he's tried to screw in off. Now, where's he left it? This is where you want a bit of luck. And, oh, that is heartbreaking, because he would have had the in off the red. These are the sort of things that make the difference, really, at this level.
So I had the pleasure of commentating on Peter's match last night against Jason Corbett. A little less tense and compelling compared to this one, but I did notice that Peter's been playing a particular type of top of the table this week that isn't as loose as what I've seen in the past. It's been a bit more compact and precise. Are you observing that too, Robbie?
I haven't been looking. I've been playing most of the time, so I haven't seen it. But Gilchrist can play that game, no problem at all. It just depends what mood he's in. I suppose Gilchrist, like Russell, play the most precise top. I'm surprised he's left that white ball over there, though, the yellow over there, because that's what he had to do, and he's got some sort of opportunity as a cannon. He could have, I would have put it on the other side of the table, really. That would be the normal thing to do. Don't know if he's just totally lost concentration there, or it's not an easy shot, but he's in the zone. He's even hit that right in the right spot there. Cannot believe that shot. The safety shot, I mean, or what we call in billiards the miss.
7.
So he's cueing smoothly. He's got a very smooth cue action. He's nearly got a snooker sort of cue action. He did try it in his hand at professional snooker for one season. Not sure how successful, but it's very difficult to stay in that game.
Yes, I believe he played in the qualifiers for the 1994 World Championships.
Yeah, he played the season, I'm pretty sure. I was still playing pro snooker myself then. But yeah, I think Russell, Setti and Gilchrist, other than myself, I was already on the snooker tour, had a go, but it's a rat race. So, you know.
Do you find it's a completely different game, Robbie?
Well, most billiard players...
At a certain level?
What do you mean? Sorry, which is a completely different game.
To reach the top of billiards and to reach the top of snooker, that you need the same level of knowledge and commitment. And
I think it's a similar. Yeah, to do both. I think it's the same but different skills. I mean, probably what I'm most proud of is that I did play on both tours at the same time for a very long period of time. But really, I had to change my cue action a bit and just be more snooker orientated. Billiards, you can have a bit looser cue action, and only a few of the players have got that, like Gilchrist, who could play both. Russell's a good snooker player too, if they wanted, but it's more the draining mental toughness, playing all these guys week in, week out, who are match hardened. The depth in billiards isn't the same. The top of both sports, the skills they're different, but they are as skillful as each other.
would it be fair to say that it would involve considerable training and hard work for the likes of Ronnie O'Sullivan and John Higgins to match the likes of Peter Gilchrist and Dave Causier?
Oh yeah, well they wouldn't have the inclination to do it, and they could, they can do it. I mean, but it's just not worth. When it's basically this: to see the half balls easily. I've watched. I mean, Jimmy White used to hang around watching me play billiards a little bit. They just can't see the half ball as well. It takes practice, but they've got the skill though, so it's interchangeable, but it's only a certain amount of hours in a day, and that's the real issue. And there's a lot of knowledge in this. Now there's a bit of luck. Gilchrist apologises, but he's not really sorry. But it's an interest. I mean, I've always thought we should have billiards and snooker combined tournaments. Actually, that reminds me, I've probably got a story for everything. I'm that old and that been around the world. I did play Peter, and that's the way they should do the tournaments. We had a money match earlier on in his career, billiards and snooker, best of 7. I think it was 100 up each one game, or 100 up or 150 up at billiards. Then you play snooker billiards. I do remember it now. Bridlington it was in England. So we had a bit of a challenge match. Probably I remember it because I won. That's all. but I think that'd be a good tournament. Short games, best of 7, then more people. Because the snooker players could have a good short game at billiards.
Well, Australia did hold a similar type of event. It was a mixture of snooker, billiards and pool, where a number of players from the various disciplines would compete with one another. It's on YouTube. I can't for the life of me remember exactly what it was or where it was.
Well, dear, like I said, I know I was in it, so I'll be able to tell you.
I watched the match between Jimmy White and Geet Sethi.
Yeah.
And basically, Jimmy broke off, made a mess of the break off. It was a 100 up, and Geet makes a 100 unfinished.
Yeah, well, it was called the Lindrum Masters.
Correct.
And it was billiards, snooker, American pool, and carom. I think it was carom as well in that tournament. But we had a similar tournament in India, and we played for a gold cue, solid gold cue, billiards, snooker, pool. And I was playing, I had to play Steve Davis. Steve Davis, good billiard player.
Really?
Yeah, he was the junior champion of the UK, and we spent a week there. And I beat him at American pool and carom. He cleared, I was 40 in front in the snooker. It's all 100 up. And then he cleared up to win. And then it was all on the billiards. So I'm favourite, but he beat me 100 up at billiards. And so he got a golden cue worth about 50 grand. Then I got a golden tie clip. But yeah, so the skills are interchangeable. But yeah, so yeah, they played that in Sydney and in Newcastle, that tournament that you're referring to. So yeah, any other?
There was a match. I'm not. Peter Gilchrist did mention playing Ronnie O'Sullivan in billiards before. Whether this was an exhibition game or just a social hit, I'm not entirely sure. But they have played one another in billiards. Peter did tell us that Ronnie has an excellent understanding of the half ball, doesn't miss an in-off,
Right.
doesn't miss a cannon. It's just that he doesn't have the appropriate knowledge to play the patterns and
Well,
get to
of
top
course,
and play
yeah.
a proper top.
Yeah.
But Peter was very impressed with his half ball game.
Oh well, that's the main thing that they can't do. But yeah, yeah, I've played Alex Higgins too. He could play billiards a bit, but Steve Davis really does know the game. Out of the other top snooker players, there's not many.
So tell us a little bit about Steve Davis's accolades in the game of billiards. You said he won the junior championships.
Yeah, well,
one
that's about English junior champion. That's about it. Because then turn to snooker. Like, there's just not enough time, especially in those days, like in the 80s, 90s. Snooker, and there was a big professional billiards tour too. So you either concentrate on one or the other. But I had to stay in England, so I had to play both. Whereas, like the Indians would just stay in India, they wouldn't bother playing. But yeah, I think he was the main one. But before, in the 80s and before, every professional snooker player could play billiards virtually. Our own Eddie Charlton was a very good billiard player. Also, I've just lost my...
Fred Davis.
Fred Davis, of course. I played him often in the billiards. Joe Davis, but... I'm trying to. Rex Williams, who was a very good snooker player. He was world champion at billiards. So, but the games, now the potting is so much more long pots in snooker. That's where the difference is. Anyway, I think this is probably more important that. He's got such a big lead now, Gilchrist. Causier's going to have to make a very big break to get back in the match. And this is all from that safety shot.
So Causier is well known to be a very strong front runner. However, coming from behind, it's a different proposition altogether. So it'll be fascinating to see how David might negotiate this sizable deficit over the next 96 minutes.
Yeah, well, he's got to get on the table first. That's the first thing. And look, when you're frozen out, I don't care who you are. If you haven't been on the table, you've got to get, in the rhythm of things. But he has been playing so well. But Peter doesn't look like making any mistake, really.
And I mean, Peter is quite an effective front runner too. He can be very dominant and is very good at asserting his dominance in a game. Peter was a bit crook earlier in the week. He might still be trying to shake off the flu or the cold. A quick blow of the nose and back into the fray. Of course, the only other Irishman at this year's championships is the gentleman refereeing this game. His name is Kevin Christie, and he comes all the way from Dublin, the Republic of Ireland.
Well, good on him too. So what part of Ireland are you from?
I come from Galway on the west
Okay.
coast, also the Republic.
91.
Not much of a billiard scene there. Bit of a snooker scene, but
93.
you'd find it hard to get a game of billiards, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I discovered the beautiful game of billiards here in Australia.
Oh, he's had another fluke there. We just didn't quite see, but he hit the jaw and he's landed nearly perfect.
He's getting the run, isn't he?
He is getting the run. And that's what, you need a bit of luck to get through, but it would be nice to see a closer match.
Then again, a lot can happen in an hour and a half of billiards.
Very true, especially with Causier. And we should mention this is on Cue Ball TV. Dan Lynch, the owner, proprietor, producer, is beside us. He's been here for hours and hours every day. He's done all the cue sports, all the billiard sports, and known him for a long time. I think his cousin bought him a lesson from me, which I still owe him. But I don't. It's been a long time now. He's always he's always doing stuff. He probably doesn't want to see a billiard ball after doing all this all the time. But it's so good now, the production. Well done.
Yeah, it's a fantastic technology, really, really sophisticated, and I think this is the first year where we've had such a high-tech presentation of two match tables. It's been very well done indeed.
Yeah, and we've got the camera angles here. Gee, you're going to make me cry. It reminds me when I used to play on the BBC, nearly, the vision on this.
But it's probably better for the players because the world professional snooker players have to put up with the roving cameras where they zoom in and they walk across your shots, and it must be really tough to get that out of your mind when you're on live TV.
Once you're concentrating, it doesn't matter, but they're dead silent. You don't see them, but, I must admit, I don't like when people aren't going to like me, but there's a fashion now in Australia to have these cameras clicking in the tournament. I think that's much more off-putting, and that the cameramen are getting a bit in the way. They should do it from the side, but there's such a big thing. They're always sort of there. I'm not bothered about the TV cameras, but the little noises whereas you can hear them, where it's all quiet out there. Whereas opposed to when I play pool, there's music in the background. It doesn't really matter. I am a traditionalist, but I think we could have a bit of classical music in the background, get some more people just so they can relax and watch it. Wouldn't hurt.
I know exactly what you mean, Robbie. It's not so much noise per se, but it's a particular type of noise.
That's right. It's the one that stands out, David. Oh
dear.
Now. Oh, he's left. He's smoking him on the red, though. I think. We can't quite. We're looking at the screen.
Oh,
no, he can
it.
just go. Well, you were talking about how he performs under pressure. Well, this is pressure. Over 500 points behind. Now look, he's trying to get it straight to the top. There's no mucking around with that. And he's trying to drag it back. Not quite hard enough, but the red's in good position.
So a lapse in concentration there from Peter.
Yeah, just maybe put a touch of side on it. Well, it'd be good to see him start flying, which he does.
13.
Now that's just gone a bit far now. He needs a nice pot here. And not a problem. Is that
16. 18.
could have got that a little bit better on there, but still not bad. Oh yeah, no problem.
21.
He's won most of the tournaments in the last couple of years, I think. Causier.
23.
He's been the man to beat.
Has another shot. Now, oh, yeah. Now, is he going to go around the table? Oh, no, he can just, mate, what's he going to do here? And you can see, look, he's quite measured at the start of his break, and then if he keeps going, he'll get faster and faster. When he starts playing, it's very quick. Now,
Dave is one of these players who's quite happy to lose top and very quickly recover in just a few shots.
41.
Yeah, he's back now.
46.
Certainly plays top of the table further away than Gilchrist and Russell.
51.
Might see a few postman's knocks here.
No, he doesn't want to do that. Well,
59.
now he's happy.
61.
I've been out of the billiard scene for quite a while. Sort of just a little comeback, but I was there when he first started playing in the professional game, and he was very loose, but Mike and I were watching him. He says, God, he's lucky. We were saying he's so lucky. You know, he gets all these loose shots and he gets position. But after the second year, we said he's not lucky. He just plays it like that. But I think looking at him now this week, he is becoming more precise as well. So put those two things together, you've got the combination of a very dangerous man.
74.
So you think he's adding an increasingly precise top of the table aspect to his game?
Yeah, I'm sure. And you know, he's been
77.
well, when there was a professional game, that was, you know, that's, God, 20 years ago. Actually, I played him in Ireland when he was started, but it was Northern Ireland, so I don't know how that goes with you, but Ballymena, played him in the World Match Play.
84.
And yeah, you could see how good he was going to be. That was in the 90s sometime.
87.
Yeah, it's still very tempting to call Dave Causier the new kid on the block, but he has been playing for quite a while now, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah, he's no new kid. He's been playing for years.
72.
Yeah, look. There's the balk line crossing. That's the part that makes it a bit harder. These are hardest balkline rules that have ever been involved in the professional billiards game.
97.
In the professional game, when Lindrum was about, it was crossing the balkline every 200 points.
Correct. Yeah.
So
100.
and now he's got it right behind the spot. You see, he wants to move it across now too a bit. He doesn't. I think he's heading for floating white maybe, but
105.
might have hit that a fraction soft.
107.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, but and he didn't hit that where he wanted. He wanted to get up higher on that. He's going to have to pot the red now.
It's not a gimme.
Yeah, nice shot. But you see, and he moved on that shot a bit, but he used to move more too. So it's another improvement in his game.
115.
So he's got out of a little bit of trouble for the connoisseur. So now he'll get high this time, leave an easy cannon. Yeah, well, he could have played postman's then, but he didn't hit the cannon very well there at all. Bad contact on the red, initial contact. So now, but these north eastern Middleborough players are so good at these cannons, these drop cannons, but there's a Moz if ever asked for. Now he needs a good shot, screw back off the red, but he must have this as a good pace. Now, is it going to come back hard enough? The answer is no. Always try and hit that bottom cushion at least. Now he's got problems. But he's a great shot maker. But this is hard. It's a very fine and off, but there's no position after it actually. Yeah, too fine.
Is that a foul?
Causier, 127.
He made contact.
No contact. Probably a good safety shot, to be honest. Well, these are the interesting shots to me anyway, when they're not standard. I was practicing for this tournament a little bit, even though my shoulder gave out, but you don't get these in-between shots if you're not playing matches, and these two are playing a lot of matches. Oh, and he's just missed that. That was a really good effort. You know, some people might have tried to play safe, but it's just not easy. Now, has he left a half ball? This could be a good turning point, and he has. He's deliberately trying to get the red over. No, he's still got work to do here.
So white cushion cannon.
Yeah.
5.
Makes the cannon.
Yeah, and he's got a cannon back the other way, it looks like. So a bit of luck for Causier if he can get this one going. He's just played the cannon, he just wants to score. Now he's got to hope. Well, the red goes. Nice pot, he's happy with that. Bounces up a bit from that. Now one more good shot. And it's out in open play. Could have been a bit harder.
So David plays the drop cannon. Doesn't quite gather the balls in the box, but had another cannon in off white, perhaps leave another drop cannon. No, he's left another in off.
20.
The white wasn't far enough up the table to bounce it back into the box, but he just plays a slowish drop cannon, leaves himself a red. Sometimes it's all about just giving yourself a good red.
Yeah, well, that's where, you know, billiards you can get a bit more of an option. He's got options now. But he's always thinking to get back to the top. Yeah, and this time he wanted to get straight back. That's a nice shot. One fraction hard, but it's so now he can just play another little drop cannon when he manoeuvres the red in the right position if he wants to. Oh, well, he's playing it from there. That's the sort of thing I wouldn't do. In theory, that's why, but they're so good at these drop cannons. But yeah.
There's a bit more impatience about David now. He is quite a distance behind, but he does still have an hour and 15 minutes or thereabouts left.
He's got plenty of time.
Yeah,
and look at this cannon. I don't know if that's the sort of thing. He's played a cannon and he's got perfect in off there. That's the sort of thing I'm saying. Was that lucky? Probably not anymore. I don't think it is. Now another drop cannon, is it, to get to the top?
Straight to top.
Yeah. Nice shot there from the side. Now he. He's playing. Billiards is about controlling all the balls. So not long ago he was over 500 behind. Well, near a 6, wasn't he, I think?
It was about 500 points, yeah.
He could have played the cannon, but played the harder shot to get the drop cannon position. Beautiful shot, really. Just snuck in, actually. Nice shot.
51.
Now it's just slightly awkward.
It's not an easy pot, this. But Dave makes it look easy.
Yeah.
54.
Perfect position too to get another cannon off the cushion.
Are we witnessing an heroic comeback here?
So far, yep, he's coming back. Gilchrist missed that pot red.
$59.
He always leaves the balls in open table positions, giving himself options at every visit.
Well, he's really leaves it always, just gets top this drop cannon position so quickly. That's what the beauty of his game is.
69.
David uses more of the table than any other player, and yet he still manages to score at a staggering pace.
Yeah, he's
Opening morning at 80.
well, he's a genius, really.
82.
82, so he's got to start thinking of the balk line.
85.
He can get behind this ball if he wanted to after this shot. No, he's
88.
Might do it here, Robbie. What do you reckon?
yeah. This is it. Now this is where it's got to be right, or there's a few problems. And it's just caught the jaw. That's the difference to the English table, I think. And no.
Yes. He's just come unstuck.
Yeah, that was a mistake. So he gets to 300 the difference. The balk line crossing got him unstuck. Oh, Peter's hit that soft too. Bit of tension now. He knows he can still get done here, but God, he'd be tempted to go inside this with left-hand side. Can get nearly top of the table in one shot here. Yeah, put right-hand side on the cue ball. Yeah, nice shot. One more good shot required though.
So he's going to go in off the red. Thinking about it.
Yeah, he's thinking a soft screw or a bit harder. Now it's just got a bit harder for him. If he gets this one, he can. And caught the jaw, but is he all right? No, he's not. That hesitation, that's what happens. Now, it's hard to play safe here too. He might go for the cannon. If he leaves the yellow on the other side, on the right-hand side of your screens, there's an in-off. If he leaves it on the other side, on the left-hand side, there's a pot. So that's probably the shot, but
oh, he's played the safety.
yeah, that's the shot. That's what I was saying. But now, let's see. Well, Peter's got to keep sorry, David probably still attacks. Great shot, and he's got a backup cannon, which is missed, but he'll get perfect on the red. So the game's changed. Can Causier keep it up now?
Well, that pot was a ripper, as they say down under.
Oh, good Aussie accent too, David. How long have you been here?
Well, I should have said ripper.
Yeah, that's better. How long have you been in the country now?
6 years.
Oh, yeah. Dinky die, Irishman.
11.
Once again, there's a pot, but he wants to get position for the drop cannon. And now Gilchrist wants putting his cue down. I think he wants to he's going to go to the toilet, I think.
15.
In the background, I see. Yep, there he goes. Bit of a tactical thing, that is, as well as a mindfulness thing for himself.
Do you think tactics are at play when players take a break while the opponent is at the table?
Yeah, I don't really like it. I'm not saying it is tactics, but it can be, because, you know, he's walked past, but I don't think Peter's doing it, but he probably has to go. But I think more he wants to just recollect his thoughts. And plus this way, the good part about it is, obviously, it's not taking time away from the match unless Causier misses, then, oh, he's back quick, that's for sure.
Well, one thing is for sure, he's lost the momentum
Yeah.
of this match. Hope springs eternal for Dave Causier and his fans watching.
Oh, it's more than a hope. He's right in the game now. And he's that's a good thick in off that. Look, he's left another drop cannon. He's a master of the drop cannon position.
33.
Yeah, you get the feeling that Peter needs to make another big one if he's going to seal his place in the final.
Now, he can go in off here, but you can also play a drop cannon if you want. No, he's not going that far.
39.
Double kiss, exactly what he wanted. No, look at that. They hardly ever get that cover.
So Dave eyes up the in off white to leave himself another drop cannon. Doesn't play it very well. Wanted that white to be closer to the middle of the table. He'll have to play cushion first cannon.
There's a question that the noise is putting the players off, but it's not inside the billiard room, it's outside the billiard room. We're our commentary box outside the billiard room, so it's quiet in there. Well, this is hard. What's he going to do here? That's that hard. He's playing a safety shot. So even he couldn't find a shot there. So now, 256 points the difference. That is not much in a game of billiards. And Gilchrist won't be unhappy for a safety battle either. Slow Causier down and also just let him collect himself a bit. Oh, look at this. Has he got it?
He's missed it.
Just missed it.
So cushion first cannon is an option here for Peter.
Well, he's missing a bit now. Now has he left a half ball in off?
I think Dave can force this.
Yeah, he's played that a bit quick actually, Gilchrist. It was a tricky shot that. Now, is that in and out? Probably, oh, it's not in good position, that's for sure. Now, can he go in off this? It's a narrow throwing table, lots of side. And no, it was never going to go in that. That was a very difficult shot, and Causier pushes his cue through in anger because he knows that could be a problem. Gilchrist can settle and get the red ball out.
So does he have a half ball cannon here?
Yeah, but no, he's got to throw the cue ball at it a little bit. So
an injection of pace.
yeah, he might stun it to get the yellow back up the table. Yeah, and he's underscrewed it.
Unbelievable.
He wanted to hit that side of it, so he made sure he hit the red on that. So Gilchrist, you know, it's all relative, the pressure. You know that. Don't care who it is, like.
So it's a pot double balk from Dave Causier. Does Peter push out, or does he attempt?
Well, the problem is it's a good
cannon.
position for Causier here. He might have a go at this. He could try. He's got a few options if he can connect to the yellow to get a cannon. Oh, bad luck. Nice attempt, but now Causier. He's got a nice shot here to then going off the white. Yeah. Bit of a screw shot. Oh, he was worried. It's landed well though. Nice shot. Back in that drop cannon position. Gilchrist must be wondering, has he thrown it away with a couple of loose shots, but still a long way to go.
I think that simple pot red was surely be playing on his mind. It was that shot that Causier back into the game, and
yeah, well, the last one wasn't much better, that cannon.
15.
looks like we're in for a close battle here, Robbie.
Yep, getting towards the hour mark left. Now he wants to get above the straight pot. Not quite, but he's got another shot on. Oh, he did.
26.
The inverse drop cannon. Now he wants to push that red a bit thicker now.
31.
Nice. And this is the sort of thing that happens when you keep winning, which he has been doing over the last couple of years, Causier. You got that inner confidence, so I'm sure he thinks he can win, and he's playing like it now. And things turn for you. I think
39.
it's all about timing in careers and so forth. A lot of players have been invincible nearly for a year or two,
42.
depending on the stages of their career.
44.
Do you think Causier would have been capable of such a comeback as this one? Say if it was 5, 6, 7 years ago?
46.
Oh, this is a bit of luck. Did you see that? Don't tell me he played that. He's just flicked it on the other side and's got the red out there, and he's still... Yeah, well, it would have been harder, you know. That's, you know, we've had
49.
runs of great players who, you know, hardly lose for a while. Seti, Russell, Gilchrist, all at different times of the, you know, might even throw myself in there, early 80s. But, you know, if we could all just play at that top level at that and then stop, it would look better. But he's certainly in the peak of form for his career, you know, and he's about the right age. I'm not sure of his age. Are you sure? Do you know his age?
I'm not entirely sure either. No.
He's probably about 40 odd, I'd say.
Yeah, perhaps early 40s.
And that's yeah, he's a bit younger than Gilchrist and Russell.
I think there's a 10-year difference.
Yeah.
So Gilchrist and Russell are about 50 years of age.
Yeah, that's that's what I call the generation of sort of billiards and snooker. That sort of 10 years, even though, but it's not like other sports, you still interact with them, you know, so really it's every 10 or so years is a new generation.
Well, we've had players in their 70s compete at this year's World Open and World Championships.
And that's what's good about the game, isn't it? You can still keep playing, although, you know, it depends. You can false sense of security too. You can play, but can you really play?
We've had a few 20-something-year-olds feature as well.
Well, you see all these guys from Middlesbrough, they were all turning professional when I was playing, you know, in my 20s. So and they were all playing top class billiards at 17, 18.
Yeah.
Now that's a poor shot, loss of concentration. What can he do now? Big shot coming up.
Oh, that's an incredible shot. Did he mean that?
Yeah, he meant it.
He used the knuckle.
And he meant the position. He just one fraction hard. That was a fantastic shot.
That was unbelievable. I'm not sure if the audience appreciated that.
Yeah. Wouldn't mind seeing that again, actually. But did he catch the knuckle, or did he have just lots of right-hand side on it? Oh. And here it is. Yeah, no, he just had a lot of right-hand side on that ball. That's what I mean. He's a genius. That was a beautiful shot. Not only that, he's played the Gilchrist ball over the pocket. One fraction more, he would have been able to go in off. So Gilchrist's last shot he had was a double balk as well, but I think this time he'll play safe. What we call a miss.
The miss gives 2 points to your opponent, but unlike the foul, your opponent does not have the option of respotting the balls.
So 46 is, he's getting old, this guy.
He's 46.
Ah.
So he's in his prime.
Well, yeah. How old are you, David?
I'm 33 years of age.
Oh, that's prime.
There's still hope for me in the game of billiards.
Of course there is. Great shot there. Now.
So he's going to have to, if he plays the red, he's going to have to leave it in a position so that he can go at the white.
Yeah, well, it's not a big issue if he can.
He's looking at the in-off angle on the white, so he might attempt, say, pot red, screw back, and then in-off the white to take it out of balk. Decides to run down for another pot red, so he's going to work a couple of hazards off the red and make his way towards the white in-off. He could even elect to play the cannon. The red will
He's not
go on
going
the
to
blue
play the
spot.
cannon, my friend. He's going to try and just pot the red till he can get good angle on the white to bring the white out.
Well, the red does go on the blue spot after this shot.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I don't think he's going to play the cannon. Not even he would play the cannon.
Words of wisdom from a 3-time world billiard champion.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to say, but we can arrange a few lessons. I'm coming up to Sydney soon.
Absolutely. You're always welcome to visit my 2 clubs. Where I play in City Tats in the middle of Sydney and
Yeah, know it well.
Hornsby RSL.
City Tattersalls, that's where I would say, started my career.
Really?
Mert O'Donoghue. I was there for a snooker match, money match, but Mert O'Donoghue, the first man who made it 147 ever before Joe Davis, but loved billiards. And we met there, and then he became my coach, contemporary of Walter Lindrum. Funny story about that is he told me just to practice billiards, but I used to play snooker as well. And actually, I used to play for the boys here for university, pennant. So I was going to practice a game of snooker, and I made my highest break, 142 at the time. I've made more, and I thought I'll ring my coach up, and it cost a lot of money to ring then. It wasn't. I'll ring the first man who ever made a maximum snooker break and tell him. But I forgot he told me only to play billiards. So I rang him and I said, Mert, I've made my highest ever break at snooker. And all he said was, what are you beeping playing that game for, and hung up on me. So, because I was practicing for the World Amateur, I just quit my job for the place billiards, but anyway, yeah, he was a character. But I met him at City Tats. All the we used to play the Winfield Masters there. They had a different billiard room then, bigger one, and all the leading professionals of the world used to come for a snooker tournament. But anyway, back to this game, and this guy is a leading professional in the game of billiards. He wanted to get a thicker cannon so he could go in off the white then.
Spin back cannon.
And that's a mistake. Oh, as he... Oh. Hasn't not running well for Gil. Look at that. That's what you don't want to see in billiards, a line-up. That's actually not easy either. Knowing Peter, he might be grinning a bit. No, he's not grinning. That is a crazy leave. 99 out of 100 times you'd have a shot on, easy shot on there. This is critical. He could go cushion first off the yellow, but he might go for safety. Now screwing off. There's lots of things on.
Oh, he's just missed it.
Well, the balls are running now for David Causier. He hasn't scored for quite a while, Gilchrist. Some of his own doing, but also some of the leaves, and Causier's left him. Well, this is an exciting match now. This is what we want.
Well, it really is an incredible game. When your opponent starts playing well, more often than not, they leave you absolutely nothing when they do break down. And this happens at all grades and all levels of billiards.
Yeah. Well, you do get the run normally when you're playing better, but that was cruel. Just got to watch potting the white ball here. Yeah, nice shot. Causier getting that adrenaline going too now, I'd say. You can sense is getting the upper hand. Yeah, throws the white ball down behind the spot. One nice pot. Well,
Well, we are witnessing an incredible comeback.
22.
that was a beautiful touch shot, that one.
25. Seven. 35.
Well, it's one of the worst feelings in the world when you see a sizable lead getting reduced, when your opponent starts to play well, gets the run.
You don't want to leave it there, but he doesn't care. I'm talking about the red. He's happy potting that along the cushion. I must say, used to play on the old billiard tables, and you hardly could pot a ball along the cushion. Mert told me don't leave it along the cushion. They normally play the run through, and in the professional game in the late 80s, 90s, Rex Williams made the pockets even tighter than the snooker pockets to stop the break. So you know, it's hard to compare the eras, to be honest. Oh, he's gone behind it. That was, oh, he hasn't left anything too easy again. But look, you normally wouldn't. That looks like not much of a gap there to go behind. It's an old saying, if there is a gap, you go behind it. Now, he's got a nice cannon here, but he's under pressure.
And he's missed it.
He's done it. He wants to, and that's the thing. You want to go the inside of it, and you tend to go too much. Now, Causier's right back in there. Doesn't even look at it, really. But he's kept both balls in front of him. Has he done this again? Yeah, he keeps them in front. Should really. He's a freak.
6.
And he still just seems to be just hitting him along. Oh, this is getting harder and harder. He got a bit too excited there.
Just under 46 minutes remaining.
This is a critical shot. He could try and pot it. No. What's he doing here? He's gone. Oh. Right, another safety shot.
So yellow and bulk, red on the side cushion.
Yeah, well, this could be a safety battle again. He's got the advantage, Gilchrist, that Causier's on the cushion. No, he's semi-played that. I wouldn't say it's a total fluke.
He hasn't played that. Shut up.
3.
No way he's played that. It's a fluke.
A member of the audience disagrees with Robbie Fulvari.
Well, it's my old mate Mike Russell, but you know he's had a couple of drinks though.
It is Friday night at the RACV Club in Melbourne. These things are to be expected.
Well, it's a critical time, 61 the difference. Short Jenny's not hard for Gilchrist, but in this situation, anything's not too easy. Lots of right-hand side. And then it goes. Now, will he play the screw shot to get the yellow back into the game? He can bring the red off 3 cushions back towards it. See how he feels. It's a classically correct shot to bring all the balls into play. Yeah, it looks like he's going for it. But he's got to bridge over it a bit, which he doesn't like. So he says, forget it. Yeah, he's going to wait for a better opportunity. He might not get one, but anyway, to move that yellow. Just worried him to bridge over the ball, hitting down on it with a screw shot.
Ideally, he'll want to get the red closer to the balk line for the screw back cannon.
Yeah.
Allows the red to maneuver towards the pyramid spot for another standard in off. Wobbles in.
We hit it a bit thin, and you can see that from the position of the red. Hit it slightly thin. Now he's got a decision to make. He can play the screw in off. But nothing's easy, especially even the position. Could nearly play safe here, but screwing off. Might pot the red here though if he does that, but probably has to go for it because the yellow's on the cushion.
It could be a potential 6 shot.
No, he's decided otherwise. Going for the pot, is he? Safety. Yeah. And
David Causier asked the referee to stop the clock.
He better stop it quick. Could make it interesting. Well, great comeback. So it's 73 points the difference. 2 greats of the game.
The great Joe Manici of Sydney has come over to watch us in commentary. Joe, recent winner of the New South Wales Open Billiards Championship.
Congratulations, Joe.
Well, we were hoping for a close encounter, and we're certainly getting one, aren't we?
Yeah, well, you never know what's going to happen. Look, it was a big surprise that Mike Russell gave up, and he was just in not too far different situation. I mean, there was less time, but he still could have won. Yeah, but he still had time.
What was the points difference?
It's about, now it's getting late, but he could have won. 500, which Russell can do, but if he was queuing well. But he really wasn't focused. Even when he came into the venue for that second session, which is a big pity. Anyway, the clock's starting. Now this is a big shot.
We're starting to get a few heckles here, Robbie.
Oh, that's unlucky.
He's missed it by a whisker.
Now, Gilchrist might not be natural, but he can just, I think he has to just fall and just have forcing shot and just score. He needs to score.
And he's met it.
Now he needs a bit of luck.
How's your luck, Peter?
Well, the red's in balk, which isn't good, but he's got an in off the yellow, which is good. So he can work with that. He's having a look if he can go in off the red first. It's close actually, which is the right shot if he can make it. Looks like it's not too far away. That would be a bit of luck. And now, still needs to have an, just gone awkward. And when it's not going for you, they look even more awkward. Now, and it's important not to force it too much. He could actually, wouldn't hurt him to pot the yellow and screw across to get a cannon just to keep it going and then have a safety shot. No, it was a nice shot. It looked harder than it was on the TV screen, if I may say so. But it was still a really good shot. He wanted to leave another in off, and it's borderline again. Looks narrow, but this table is playing quite narrow anyway, so that's why he's got a chance. Totally new cloth, strawn professional snooker cloth, no chance. But there it is, smooth.
Giving it every chance to go in.
Yeah. Now,
does he play the cannon?
Yeah, I think he's playing the cannon this time. He's just got to get it right. He wants to go red cushion, but safest way is just to power into this a bit. The yellow. Yeah, good shot. Great shot. Now he just needs a little bit of luck, which
he doesn't get.
No. Unless he can just get inside the yellow, but that's hard. I don't think it's possible. Oh.
It's 9:55 p.m. Melbourne, Australia. Peter Gilchrist leads by 1,007 to 9:21. 37 minutes remaining.
And what's the time in Ireland?
It's funny that you ask, but I've got this world clock on my iPhone.
I like the days when people need general knowledge.
It is 11:55 a.m.
Okay, well they'll be watching this in Ireland. Some lovely billiard players. Good old Eugene Hughes, one of my friends in the snooker and billiard world, ex-professional, down there, along with many others.
I've heard the name, but I've never had the pleasure of meeting Eugene.
He was a jovial character on the main snooker tour and played billiards as well in the professional scene. Anyway, Gilchrist went in off, which was a great shot. Now, he's still got to get position. He just hasn't had position for the last hour or so, nearly. Oh, yes, that's a nice shot too. Takes a bit of guts to play that. That wasn't right in the jaws. That was a nice shot. I'm going to say that shot might win him the match. He could have easily just, most players, well, I'd say...
That's a very big comment, Robbie.
Well, there you go. 80% of the players would have just smashed trying to get a cannon there.
Correct.
So
he now has 2 in-offs here. Chooses the yellow. Let's see what kind of a pattern he gets here. Doesn't quite have a half ball cannon, so he might elect to pot the red and stun across or go in off the yellow. He's going to go in off the yellow.
I think we've got a high from Robert Marshall. I think that's the ex-professional snooker player who plays billiards now. He says from the other Bob Marshall, well, the other Bob Marshall was world amateur champion from Western Australia. That's who he's talking about. Hi, Robert, if that's you. Anyway, I reckon my prediction's right now.
That name rings a bell.
Which name?
Robert Marshall.
Yeah, that's a great billiard player from WA.
Correct.
And the other one rings a bell too.
29.
So he's recovered his poise a bit now. Not 10.
Well, there's a lot of talk and general chatter about how David Causier used to have an inferiority complex when competing against the more senior players like Peter Gilchrist and Mike Russell. But over the last couple of years, certainly since he clinched his first world crown, I think, Robbie, you and I are in agreement that he no longer has that inferiority complex.
Yeah, I
if
think
anything,
so, yeah.
it's a superiority complex.
Yeah.
And the results have certainly gone his way in previous encounters against the likes of Gilchrist and co. Peter plays a more patient and classical type of game. Dave's brand is more open and dashing and quick fire.
49.
Just going back to my previous remark, Robbie, I did say maybe about half an hour ago that Peter just needs one more big break if he's going to clinch this match. And I'm not just talking a century, he could really do with a double century here.
Well, of course he does now. He's the difference.
53. 3.
Causier can still make up a lot of time, but Gilchrist, I think, looks good now.
55.
When I say that, slightly out of position, didn't want to bridge over this ball, and he's not happy. Wanted to just hit that red a bit thicker.
This is a big shot if he's going to take the pot on.
Well, I think that's all he can do. He's a very good potter. Normally I expect it, and look, he's tall, he can certainly bridge over it. Because he wants, you know, in the back of his mind, he wants to play the screw back. He's still going to get position, but he's going to lose the position. Still does. So he'd rather just screw cannon. Perfect on the red. Now where's the yellow? Perfect. Nice shot. Beautiful shot. He's playing good billiards now. Reminds me how to play this game, actually. I was just slapping him around. Should have watched more billiards before I went in this tournament.
What was your highest break at this year's World Championship, Robbie? You made a
Broke
few
my
centuries.
shoulder. Yeah, I wouldn't. 150 odd, but only my forte is getting to at the top of the table. Must have made at least 30 at the top of the table. Sorry. Joe Manici having a good laugh. If ever there was a more passionate person about billiards and snooker, it's Joe.
66.
Well, I thought about it. I did make a couple more.
Well, I think the highlight of Joe's tournament was his match with Pankaj Advani. He pushed Pankaj all the way, made a flurry of decent breaks. I believe Pankaj shook Joe's hand after the game and said, "Joe, you're quite a player."
Which he is. Gee, Joe, we should get you in the commentary box. Talking about just the last time I played you, mate. I'm trying to grasp 5:15 in an hour, unfinished. I don't. Yeah.
I remember.
That's what. Anyway, that's the day I could play. But anyway, yeah, Pankaj, say you are a very fine player, Joe. We went to the World Masters. Did we World Masters snooker? Where was that? Holland or we shared a room. I said on one condition that you don't talk about billiards all day and night. So what does he do? He talks about billiards all day and night.
What part of Holland were you staying in?
Where were we? Near Eindhoven, wasn't it? What was it called? I've been in too many places. Veldhoven. This man is the oracle of memories of Joe Manici. Actually, that was I remember. I don't remember the names, but I do remember a lot of things that happened. Yeah, I remember that. That's when I made 3 centuries in a row at snooker, and then they robbed me. They said it was 92. The last one. And some big news on the other table. We had the Women's World Billiards Championship, and I can gladly announce that Anna Lynch, Anna Lynch, know her quite well. It's been a long day. I was looking for her name. I'll get a severe reprimand I just call her Anna. But she won the World Championship, and that's quite a feat. She's been playing billiards for a long time, and she richly deserves it. And look what's happened. 244 to 204, and it was a very close match. Historic win. She's the current Australian champion, at billiards, but can add world champion to that resume, which not many people can add. Well,
Any relation to Dan Lynch? Brother and sister.
well, she's the better looking Lynch. I'll give her that.
Yeah. You're not kidding. So what's Peter going to play here? A force in off?
Stun.
A stun cannon.
Oh, you got to come for coaching, mate. He's lucky there. So the wheels have turned. He's even got a forcing in off the white, but I don't think he'll risk that. In off the yellow, I should say. He can just... Now...
Peter's quite happy to keep Dave in his chair, knock in the losing hazards, keep that red out in the open.
If you can get this a bit closer to the balk line, that looks like that's close. That is close. That's a perfect shot. Well played. So now he can pot that, screw back, or get a cannon, whatever.
Well, he's played this as a gathering shot.
So Joe Manici says this is about a 12-minute 90 break. That's perfect cueing, but unfortunately for... has he got touching ball? That'd be some luck.
Well, that is absolutely incredible.
Well, you don't ask the opponent. You make the decision, but there's a bit of luck. Oh, are you? That's a good rule. And what happens if the opponent says no?
Ask the opponent.
Oh, okay. Shows you how much I've looked at the rules. No, don't you? That's a new one. Ask your opponent for a refereeing decision.
You need coaching on the new rules, Robbie.
I'll be up as well. Any other new rules? Anyway, that touching ball, added to that in off what I said about 15 minutes ago, has nearly done it for him. But he's still got to play. Causier made a 655 break in the World Open in 45 minutes. No balk line crossing, but just the same.
Which means he can make a 300 break in 22 minutes.
Yeah, easily, actually. Well, not easily, but plenty of time. Okay, nice kiss. He's still got an in off the yellow, or he can force a cannon, but right shot would be in off, but ooh, yeah, of course. Ooh, slides in, but that's a nice angle to push this yellow down towards the top end and push the red down as well.
Of course, both of these players are playing for the opportunity to compete against the reigning world champion, Sourav Qatari, who has booked his place in the final. He defeated Mike Russell earlier today. Sourav looking to win back-to-back titles.
Yeah, that'll be a great effort. And
very much an improved player, isn't he?
yeah, and he just, in the second session, Russell hardly scored until he gave up, actually. Well, oh, he did. I got a feeling he was playing both, but it could have easily gone wrong. So semi fluke, but he's deserved this break. He's played a couple of beautiful shots. And now another screw cannon.
15.
Now, has he got the pace? Right, well, not quite, but I think he's got it in off the yellow. Not quite half ball, but pretty close. Yeah. He's taking his time. I think he is taking his time a bit more too, isn't he?
Yeah, I think Peter is just drawing on all of his match play experience. He's been beaten by Dave quite a few times recently, and this would be very much a big victory for Peter.
Bit short, but that'll do him. Final tomorrow. Basically all day. It's not a short match. This is the long game. Just trying to get exactly the final. Starts at 12:30 Australian time. Two 2-hour sessions, and then the final hour session is at 7:30 tomorrow. Should be a great match. Can somebody also tomorrow, it's the longest match of the tournament, perhaps get that magical 1,000 break? $24,000 on offer.
123.
That's not ideal, but might have then off the yellow, which he didn't really play for.
It is a 5-hour match.
A 5-hour match, so they'll have a few chances.
So Dave might get in here for...
He's going for the hardest shot. It's near the cushion, hard to screw in off. No, it's not ideal. And he's taken his time, you know, it's a bit... I reckon he's not going to... Is he going to go for this? And good shot.
It nicely.
No problem. That's a beautiful shot.
6.
So is Dave still waiting in hope, or is he becoming more and more resigned? Peter goes in off the yellow and leaves a reverse drop cannon.
If he scores a few more points, I think that's nearly it. Over 200 points in front now, and now he's back to virtually perfect top of the table. Anywhere around there, these players can nearly manoeuvre the opponent's white back behind the spot.
He's been very patient here. not rushing this. He's in pole position, sensing a great victory now. Run through cannon. If he can't see the red, maybe he can see the red.
Yeah, he can see the red all right.
Very hard to tell with these camera angles.
143. 145.
Peter will go in off red.
Okay, so one more drop cannon.
Drop cannon brings the red over towards that pocket. Has a bit of a smother here, but it's an easy
not an
push
issue.
first cannon.
152.
Oh, no, still not too bad.
Still manageable.
154.
Peter is certainly pacing this break nicely, keeping Dave in his chair. Reasserting a dominance that he, at one point, found slipping away from him.
Well, that's not ideal, but if it's he's all right. He can just play a cannon up the table.
Dave stands up and takes a look.
Yeah, that was.
And grimaces slightly, so
Yeah.
an indication that Peter has a shot on here.
Takes one more little bit of time out. He's got to play this cannon.
Heaps the right hand side.
Yeah, just hit it low. The table's skidding a bit.
Oh, that's beautifully played.
Yeah, it's never an issue. Now, this is where it all started, but it was a harder in off than this.
Correct.
That's what. And he's played it perfect to get in drop cannon position as well.
Well, you called it, Robbie, when he went in off cushion first, off Dave's yellow. You said, is that the shot that's going to win him?
Well, it was a brave shot, a classy shot. And the right shot.
Indeed, if Peter wins the championship this year, we'll be the first to remind him of that shot.
Yeah, you can remind him. But yeah, it was a lovely shot. True.
I'll tell Peter that I called it.
Or you can lie if you want. Or everybody's been listening. That'd be a silly idea, but.
165.
So less than 12 minutes. Peter lines up the pot. Plays it nicely.
168.
He's got an in-off yellow.
7.
Peter Gilchrist and Dave Causier have both won the WBL World Professional Billiards Championship on 3 occasions. So you could say that although this is a semi-final, it is in effect a race to 4. We'll see what Mr. Qatari has to say about that in tomorrow afternoon's final.
$174.
Right. Is he going to play a little run through or pot it? I think.
Looks like he's lining up the pot. And he's missed it.
Now, can Causier run around the table? We've got 10 minutes to make 247 or 8. If anybody can do it, he can. He actually can do it if he got to top, but highly unlikely.
Well, let's wait and see. We might have a photo finish here.
Yeah, I've had enough of them this week. For that.
I mean, your guy was literally running across the line, wasn't he?
Well, 91 in front I was, with 5 minutes to go, and he made 100 break to win on the last visit. Great play by the Myanmar player, but it wouldn't happen every day. I wish it didn't happen yesterday. Got to the top very quickly. He's got to get to the top of the table in the next few shots or he can't do it. That's for sure, Causier. And now for the first time he's not getting that drop cannon position. And that's what happens, and that's all over Red Rover.
18.
He punches the table a little bit. I think Dave now senses that it's a semi-final place for the 2019 World Billiards Championship that he must be content with. A look of relief almost on Peter's face as he comes to the table.
Well, of course. Just misses it, but
And it's actually going to be a rerun of last year's final.
okay, and
Sourav defeated Peter in Leeds in the infamous pit table that they have up there. The RECV City Club also has its a similar configuration with a sunken floor for the TV match table and a wonderful seating arrangement. We can pack in approximately 200 spectators. It's going to be a cracking atmosphere for tomorrow's final. If you're local and you're a keen billiards fan, I'm not sure there's many tickets left, but if you can, try and make your way to the RACV club.
yeah, I don't think there's any tickets left. It's sold out.
Standing room only.
Oh, there
perhaps,
is a bit of a
but,
walk-in standing room. Okay, well, come
we're
down.
we're just actually getting a message here that there are a few seats remaining, so
Yeah,
come on down.
Yeah, Robert Higgins from Tasmania is doing a great job in helping organise, and he's telling us that.
24.
But there's a lot of gold passes being sold. I know that through the weeks before. So,
And billiards is one of these sports, of course, where the stars of the game are not in any way conceited or arrogant. They're very down to earth, very approachable.
29.
The first time I met my co-commentator here, Mr. Robbie Fulvari, we ended up talking for an hour and going for a drink, I think, at the bar and talking about billiards.
Yeah, well, it was good to see a younger man having a go with such enthusiasm.
34.
And a bit of a professional man, aren't you? What do you do for a living again?
Well, I should really know my angles and my geometry a lot better when I play the game, because I do practice the fine art of architecture on a daily basis. It's what puts the bread on the table.
Yeah, I thought so, but it's not just about the angles, it's about the cueing and mental. But you'll get there, that's good. Anyway, and David just drops it short again, just when he was starting to get towards top, but his heart's not totally in it now, as happens. So Peter Gilchrist, great player. He's back in the world final again tomorrow in Melbourne. First time it's been in Melbourne since 1934, when the Prime Minister turned up to have a look. I think Morrison may be busy. I'll just have to ring him again. But at that stage, Walter Lindrum was here to defend his title against Joe Davis.
If ScoMo is tuning in, you're more than welcome, Prime Minister, to come along and watch some billiards.
I'll ring him, it's all right.
Robbie, you must have the direct line at this stage.
I had his last phone number, but...
Sporting Australian legend.
13.
It's a really nice feeling, Robbie, when you're assured of victory in this time format and you're just playing out time.
Yeah, that's right. There's
15.
nothing to lose. We can only win. Just relax.
So it's going to be India versus Singapore.
So Causier would be a little bit disappointed. He's the form man. He started off playing the best billiards of the tournament for sure, but it's a long time to keep it going. And it's always a bit of the run of the balls, how you feel at this level. It's just a shot here or there, but he's played well. People in Australia have been very happy to see him play.
To those of you who have joined a little late, Dave really has played like a champion. He was 500 points in arrears at one stage. Peter led by about 900 points to 400 points. Dave made a stirring comeback, started to get the run, which is always needed, and which always tends to happen when momentum swings your way in billiards. But Peter has used all of his experience, his knowledge, and his class really to fashion a wonderful victory.
Okay, so we're near the end here. David Walsh, thanks for joining me in the co-commentating position. Dan Lynch, done a great job with setting all this up on television. Cue Ball TV shows every different cue sport. Thanks to the World Billiards Committee for organising all this in Melbourne. Unbelievable. The final will be tomorrow. the sponsors, Endeavour, Silex, just to name a couple.
Yes, Endeavour Life Care sponsoring the World Men's Championship and Silex Ergonomics sponsoring the Ladies Billiards Championship. And many thanks to Reed Furniture for sponsoring the World Open this year.
So we'll see everybody tomorrow at around midday for the World Billiards Championship, where it's going to be this man, Peter Gilchrist, formerly of England, now from Singapore, playing Qatari, and it should be a great match at the RACV City Club.
Well, Robbie, it's been my pleasure. It's been a true honour to commentate with you, and
well done, and we'll see you tomorrow at People TV and World Billiards.
Reed Furniture, we guarantee better results for students with our Learniture range of ergonomic school furniture. We have more than 50 years of experience in designing educational furniture solutions. Reed also offers a range of flexible, modular furniture which is easy to reconfigure. Transform the classroom from a collaborative learning space to a workshop or an instructor-led environment within minutes. What's more, everything comes with a 10 years warranty.
George Taylor. I'm Managing Director of Alcock's, the most well-known billiard table company in Australia. Henry Alcock arrived in Melbourne in 1853 and shortly thereafter set up a little cabinet making shop in Fitzroy. They've been here in Melbourne making billiard tables for 160 years. Today, most of the traditional major clubs have a billiard room, and the billiard room features an Alcock table. We are producing a product that stands quite happily on the world stage. This game is so demanding that precision is a very, very important factor. It has an important bearing on which timbers are selected for the making of a billiard table. It has a very important bearing on the jointing of those timbers as the table is put together. It has a very important bearing on the way we treat the issue of the billiard table slate. We have developed ourselves machinery particularly focused on the question of making sure that the billiard table slate is ground and honed to a higher level than you'll find anywhere else in Australia. The cushion work must be carried out so that the height of the cushion is exactly what is required for the size of the ball. The pocket openings of the cushions have also got to be adhered to strictly. Even the cloth is fitted in the traditional way, which is the correct way if you're going to play a high level or a championship level of English billiards or snooker. Our family company, which is Australian owned and operated, is producing a level of product that not only is regarded as the best in Australia, but is regarded highly right throughout the billiards and snooker world.
He'll